And what about you, sir? Okay. The gentleman behind you, are you here for a particular case?
Yes, ma'am. Case number 219 0000228.
Okay. And what about you in the back, sir?
Property on Green Lake. All the cases.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll take, sir, you in the back, we'll take your case first since it's old business. Case number 2017-148. And then in terms of new business, we'll go in order of EF. So we'll take case 2019-228 and then case number 2020-196. And then we'll take the rest of the cases starting with old business to new business. And what I'd like to do before we get started, if you're going to give testimony for any of the cases today, if you would please stand and raise your right hand, we'll go ahead and swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So the first case today is 2017-148 involving 372 Northwest Gwen Lake Road, Gwen Lake Avenue. Property owner James Johnston III. I'd like to start with the city, if I may, just to have some background with respect to this case, including if you could let me know whether proper notice was provided, as well as the remedy that the city is seeking.
Case 2017-148 came before you on March 12, 2020. The property has been in a derelict condition for several years. During that meeting, Mr. Johnson wasn't there with representatives here. The notice for this hearing did go out and was served on 12/28/2020. The property was also posted as well as City Hall. Per the orders from the hearing in March of 2020, the conclusion of the law was that property, the order was that within 90 days of the date of the order, respondent shall obtain a permit, repair and demolish the structure, and if demolished, the property shall properly dispose of all debris and such work. In the event the respondent fails to timely comply with the order, a daily fine of $100 will be imposed and begin accruing within 6 months from this date, which can become a lien on the property and could be foreclosed upon this. And you would dated and signed the order on the 17th of 2020, and it has been reported in the County Public Record. After the meeting, a permit was sought, and the permit was 2018-43. Actually, the permit was actually reviewed because no activity was for the original permit was resigned. When we renewed the permit, it was given 6 months from the renewal date. No inspections were completed, and the permit expired. The structure, as seen in the photos, is still in the status of which, as the so-called reasons by many citizens who have complained about it. The broken windows, boarded up, the tin roof is damaged. The portion that was supposed to come off the house is still there. And because of concerns of the community, we are asking that we follow the process of filing a lien on the property, and within 6 months, either the city foreclose upon that lien, or the city demolish it, and then the owner will be billed the cost.
Mr. Johnson, but would you please state your name and address for the record, and then any response that you might have to the city?
Yes, I'm James Johnston, 756 Southwest Sticking Avenue, Lake City. And all that really matters, but this particular case, I was not properly notified. A sign appeared last week on the property. My son was actually the one that went by and gave me the date of this hearing. So I have no record of this hearing other than until yesterday of the hearing. But that doesn't change the fact that in March, I was granted the opportunity to fix the house again. And due to economical hardships, and we did clean the property up, but we didn't make any, we made no repairs due to the economical hardship, and then also the COVID kicked in, and that kind of put us behind even further. So, other than that, I have no excuse or reason for not being able to get the property in a safe, sound condition. So again, once again, I would ask for just a little bit of lenience and just a little bit more time to make some progress. And if that doesn't happen in a short time, then I'll go along with the city's recommendation.
Mr. Johnson has not updated his property owner stuff. That's probably why we need to notice it returned to us. And property was posted on 12/28/2020, and Florida statute states that we have to post the property at least 10 days prior.
Well,
And unfortunately, your son took the time, and it's supposed to stay up during the process.
it just showed that last week I was there, the property.
I do have photos on 12/28/2020. Probably will post it on the city hall.
Mr. Johnson, how much time are you seeking?
You give me a month, and I'll call Miss Beverly. And she can come out and take a look, and if I haven't made an effort in a month, then I'll go on with the city's recommendation to tear it down.
We only agreed to a month, but a new permit would have to be sought, and we would have to use that scope of work and complete the inspection of the inspector, who is the actual inspection on record for all the.
Mr. Johnson, what do you say to that?
Yes, ma'am.
And it does have to be a new permit.
I have one right here. I'm going to try to drop off.
We would ask that if within that 30 days from the reported order, that is not complete, that we go ahead and move forward with reporting the lien. And then 6 months from that. Yes, sir.
Not complete, but a great stride made to improve and secure the home. Not complete. I can't complete it in 30 days.
How long will it take me
You
to
let me get the outside looking good. We'll be happy.
I have Mr. Young. I would have to defer to you as both management director. We have given this property since 2017.
That would be a Ms. Martian decision on to how much of it would need to be done, or if all of it would have to be done during 1 month time.
Mr. Johnson, how long would it take you to bring it into full compliance with the city's code?
I mean, the exterior, I'm thinking that, I can do that within a month, as long as, the exterior is in good standing, and keep the neighbors happy, and not invite me a little more time.
Just to clarify, when you say you're meeting the area of the structure or the actual property?
All of them.
The property is on its current standing, so
I'm talking about windows, siding, roof repair. Curb appeal.
Suggestions, are there, deficiencies with respect to the interior as well? Or is it
Never been inside the interior,
Okay.
but there is a large hole in the rear of the structure and the photo that, I'm not sure how damaged the inside is of the property. So based upon board code, it's, what it's not. The whole structure.
As a building contractor, I am qualified.
what's the city's position if, the property owners provided 60 days to bring the property into compliance?
Is it full compliant?
Mr. Johnston, do you think you're able to do that within 60 days to bring the property into compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
Or just add it on the 61st day?
And in terms of the fines beginning to accrue, they would accrue on the first day. That would be today's meeting.
The fine is actually already started based upon your previous order. Unless you decide to change that.
What is the city's meeting?
Right now, it's $100 per day. And, June 18th. $100 per day. If you choose to stop that meeting once you come into compliance fully, that is your order. And,
If I don't, I'll accept $100 a day.
Okay. Okay, so to be clear, I will provide Mr. Johnston another 60 days to bring the property into compliance. And Mr. Johnston, feeling that on the 61st day, the city may record the lien for the fine that began accruing 90 days after the last order that I issued.
you may want to update your investment first so that you get this order directly to you. Not on the card. Just bring it.
Mr. Johnston, tell me where you'd like this word.
756 Southwest Hitchcock. City 32024.
Will do. Thank you, Mr. Johnston.
Thanks, Martin. I would like to point out that to date, that would be 207 days from June 18th to today, at $100 a day. Yeah.
Mr. Johnston agreed to that fine.
make sure.
The con goes away, but, line.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Mr. Johnson, one of the things, make sure all the Florida product approval codes are included so that nothing security is process.
Okay.
Thank you.
And is there a notary downstairs?
And downstairs.
Okay, thank
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, in the back. Are you here for a particular case?
I am.
Which case are you here for?
Case 2020, ending in 179. Cedar Park. That was extended due to there was something that had gone on, we extended it, someone told you or something.
Yeah, we had found a garden hose because the pipe was broke, and when we pulled it out and another manhole was cleaned out, we set up an annual cleaning for the year with lime powder. And we want to monitor it to see how well it goes. Okay, because there was not one set in place with the part of management for us. And I was just notified September and October about it.
She's not on the agenda today.
Ma'am, you're not on the agenda today.
Listen, a hearing for today.
You were, it was sent back out to you because you conversed with Mr. or someone from Cedar Park that conversed with Mr. Day about 8 days ago.
Okay, can I talk to you for a few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, so our next case will be under new business, CE case 2019-228 involving a property located at 681 Northwest Dixie Avenue. The owner is Bertha Homes.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. And I'd like to start with the city. If the city could provide us some background on this case, including whether proper notice, this hearing was provided, as well as the remedy that the city is seeking at this time.
The property was a vacant property, and a shed appeared on the property, and we had received a complaint from a citizen. And there was also other items on the vacant piece of property that went against city code. Namely city code, which is land development regulation 4.5.3. Sheds are not allowed on a piece of property unless there's a primary piece of primary structure, or you own the structure, the property next door in the home or business side. The first original violation went out in 9/15/19. The case has been extended out due to us trying to assist Mr. Holmes, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Holmes with obtaining a home. Unfortunately, Mr. Holmes did not meet the deadlines and guidelines that we set up for him. So we moved to issue another notice on 1/9/2020. And at that time, Mr. Holmes was spoken to our city manager, and it was noticed out. The vehicles and the shed still were present. Mr. Holmes, and at the time, Mr. Holmes' sister was receiving the mail, and it was served, and now Mr. Holmes is receiving the mail. And the last notice went out on 11/30/2020. There was a different car parked there, which was on jack stands, which is a safety issue, and the shed is still present. And at this time, Again, we have not seen any plans for a home or a mobile home permit coming in, and no plans for some special exception. The property photos show the shed and the car. And also, the other concern was that at one point we were told that Mr. Holmes was letting out of the shed. The shed is addressed and there's a mailbox at the residence. So the vacant piece of property should not be receiving mail for city ordinance. And we did verify that Mr. Holmes was not living in the shed. But unfortunately, the shed remains and it's going against city code. So the city is thinking that within the next 30 days, the shed be removed and the property be restored to the vacancy. And if Mr. Holmes chooses to go the route of permitting for a new home or a trailer of residential manufactured modified home, then he goes through the process within time after that shed. We are also going to ask for a fine at your choosing if the shed is not removed after that time frame. And within 6 months, a lien be placed upon the property.
What amount of fine are you seeking?
We would go with $25 a day.
Will that be if the shed is not moved?
Sir, I'm sorry.
Will that be if the shed is not moved?
That depends on the order that Ms. Martin will tell you.
Okay, well,
And Mr. Holmes, to give you a chance to speak to this matter and
Yes,
tell me
ma'am.
what's, how you'd like to address what the city's just said.
yes, ma'am. First, back in 2016, I went through a special exception to get a mobile home there. And this case has a lot of moving parts. I came to find out the same lady that complained about the shed being there is my older sister, and we do not get along. I paid for the mobile home, paid the guys to move it there, and was waiting for it to get there after I went through the special exception. Now, in that meeting, I believe Ms. Kite presided over it. I'm not sure. Thinking back, I think she presided over it. So when she granted me permission for the mobile home of the special exception, I asked her, I didn't have it drawn on the diagram, but I asked her, could I bring a utility shed in to house everything because I was still moving out of Ocala, Florida. And that's furniture, tools, all my belongings. And she told me, yes, keep it 10 feet off the fence line. So in January 2017, that's when I brought the shed up and was still waiting on the house to get there. And they never did deliver my house. I come to find out that Gloria, everyone thinks that she's my mother, and which she's my sister. She had went behind my bike and told the guys, oh, he don't want the house, y'all just don't bring it. So that's why the house is not on the property. Now, since then, I've had several accidents, lost my eye, car wreck, and just had a rough time of it. So, for the first notice, I received, I think Gloria brought it and put it in the mailbox, and so I looked at it, and it was not signed by Ms. Jones. And if anyone knows Gloria Taylor history, she's just a thief. So anything she does, as Judge Douglas said, if she tell you it's raining outside, you might better get up and go look. So she brought and dropped the notice off, and I didn't pay any attention. And I came up here to the city, oh Lord, the city clerk, and I asked them about it. And they told me they didn't know of a hearing. So I just forgot about it. And since then, I've went into the office and talked with Mr. Young and Ms. Jones. We had an incident to where things kind of got out of hand, and some things were said, and I called the police to get an understanding, let them get an understanding about it, because what was said, it wasn't right. So right now, I feel like all of this right here is a form of retaliation because I called police. There's shed not 100 feet away from me. The guy had it backed up against his house, is not 3 feet from his house, and not 10 feet from his neighbor's house. He received a notice to move his. It still hasn't went anywhere, but either way it go, I'm just focusing on me. I just asked Mr. Young, I just need more time. House plans, I have them, but my financial situation is slow. Especially trying to get the money off my 401k. Everything got slowed up. It just threw me for a loop. So I was just asking for more time because everything I own, except for what's in my apartment, everything else I own is in that shed. I moved everything out of Ocala because I had a storage shed down there. I moved everything up here, and when I talked to Ms. Kite that night, I explained to her what was going on, and I asked her if I needed a piece of paper, anything signed to prove what transpired that night. She told me, no, Mr. Holmes, you fine, go ahead. And that was in 2016. And I'm looking at it as, even though I didn't get the mobile home, and I know that I needed that mobile home, it's something I need. I'm looking at it as like 2017 to 18. I think September, October 2018, when I received the first notice, I'm looking at it as, well, I got permission to put it there, and now I'm being told to move it. And everything I have is in that mobile home, in that shed. So as far as bringing everything to code, I just need more time. That's it. It's not that I'm not going to do it. It's just the point of financial situation. And right now I'm dealing with 3 doctors at one time. So there's a lot of money. There's money coming out of my pocket. And by me being on disability, it's what, $300-400 to move it. So I'm trying to get my 401k, then I can pay for everything. And which hopefully I can get it early by August. But until then, if I need to, all I need to do is just really bring these up, bring my house plans up, which I have them. I just need to bring my house plans up and pay for the impact fee. But it's just one of those things that's slow going with me. And Lord, if I had any other place to put it, I would move it. I wouldn't want to go through this.
Ms. Marshall? Hold on a second, I just have a couple questions for Mr. Holmes. Mr. Holmes, how much time do you think you need?
I would say 3 to 6 months, to be honest with you.
And then you mentioned what I believe was a hearing on a special exception to permit you to
Yes, ma'am.
have the shed, to have a mobile home on the
Yes,
property.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And who was it that made the ruling with respect to that?
Let me look back on, I don't know if her name is on the don't know a name, I don't know many people's names, I don't keep up with names, but
Is it your testimony that the mobile home was approved?
yes, ma'am, I have the paperwork right here. And I came in and got the Get Public Record, and she gave me this, but for the audio or the transcription of what was said, I couldn't get that. She told me that they didn't have it.
So in terms of what was approved, it was a mobile home on the property.
Yes, ma'am.
And, was there any reference in the documents that you had before?
No, ma'am.
With respect to the shed?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Because before I had the variance drawn out for the mobile home, and then I turned and I asked, could I put it there? And she told me yes. And if she had told me anything different, I wouldn't have never put one there.
Ms. Jones, what's your response to Mr. Holmes?
The process of a special exception is it goes before a board, not in front of a city employee. And city employee doesn't have the authorization to authorize what would have been a permittable shed. That would have had to come through a permitting process and sought approval through building official inspections, tie downs, and the final inspection. Ms. Kite did work for the city in that capacity in 2016. And I am unaware of the police action that occurred.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
remember a meeting with Mr. Young regarding this, and, that's when we had given him the extra time to come back before us with his plan. But, the shed would have had to been permitted. And what happened is that special exception would have been based upon the land development regulations. And it was not used within the 6 months of the order from the planning and zoning board. It is no longer valid, you have to reapply that process. And the site plan or the mobile home, the special exception as Mr. Holmes notated, the shed was not on the site. And, the shed that you inquired about is also under the last, you said,
Mm.
and the same process. There's a lot of these cases, unfortunately, COVID did not allow us to have meetings for most of
Yes,
2020.
ma'am.
And some have been postponed, some have been moved, and some have been based upon complaints that come about these property.
Yes, ma'am. But for the police action, I have that here. And for as the paperwork that was signed, that was given to me, I can't have it anyway. But I did ask that night at the special exception meeting. And for the being enforced for 6 months, that's something that I did not know. I did not know it at the time.
Mr. Holmes, would your intent be to go through the exception process again, or what would your plan be? To build a standard home on this property? Would you want to go through that process again?
Right now, I would say a special exception because I think that would be, I think that would be, more feasible for me if I did change my mind about the type of home I wanted, because I'm looking at, I have plans here for a site built house, but I am looking at a, modular home.
Or is there any dispute that this property is zoned RSL residential?
And, you know, even with, myself and Mr. Helfenberger, we had, talked about a special permit or permit, just a permit instead to be there. Because it's no like, of power or water on the property, I just need to store it. And like I said, it never should have went this far from my plan, but life happened.
Unfortunately, we do not have a permitting process or temporary permit in place right now that will allow for us to be on the piece of property. Our land development regulations will have to be changed. And of course, you can condition that. There is a cost involved, not quite, I think it's around $1,000 to do a, tax plan amendment. And that will go before the zoning board.
Okay, so now,
You would have to petition the zoning board to change the regulation.
okay,
And then after that point, if they choose to change the regulation, then you could apply for what you just said.
okay,
Currently, we don't have that
okay,
in our ordinances or our land development regulations. They say that shed cannot be there.
Yeah.
Structure.
yeah. So even with that being, of course, I don't know if they would change it. But even with that being said, because what I have in there, some of the stuff I have in there is worth more than $1,000. I have metal in there, sheets of metal, 15 of them, that's $1,800. And I have no place to put it.
Mr. Holmes, unfortunately, Ms. Jones is correct. The land development code provides for residential property that the only permitted uses are single-family dwellings, public parks and recreation areas, or community residential homes. And then only if one of those uses exists or structure, then can you have an accessory
Well,
use, which is a shed. So that is the status. So you would be required to have a single family dwelling on the property in order to have the shed under the existing code. And I don't have the authority to change the code of the law.
Yeah.
I can only apply what's here.
Well, whatever you rule, I'll go along with it. That's all school. But
I appreciate that.
It's just an understanding that, you know, from my injuries years ago to right now, if I was able to get out there and work, this would be a non-fight. But life happened, and I hate to say I got the short end of it. But life goes on. But I feel I know if I get more time, that I would have everything corrected one way or the other. But I believe it would be in my favor.
Mr. Holmes, what about this vehicle on the property?
That vehicle is no longer there. That was my granddaughter's car. She came up to Lake City, it broke down, and I had to get out there and fix it. I went to AutoZone to get the TVI sold. They sold me the wrong one, so I had to wait for them to get the right one in. So I think that set y'all probably 2 days before they got the right one, and it's gone.
Ms. Jones, have you been able to verify that the vehicle is no longer?
Unfortunately, the property was posted on 11/30/2020. The vehicle was present, and the vehicle was still present at 1/4/2020.
Now, was it in the air or just sitting there?
It was, is that vehicle currently present?
That vehicle was tied in. The tag was in the back window. I think you're referring to another vehicle that was up there. It would have been my truck.
That's it, on truck, it's a little
Oh,
car.
that was the Nissan Sentra, but the vehicle before that,
It's in the Nissan Sentra.
yeah. But the vehicle before that was my truck, and it had a tag in it also. But if I do park them there, and it won't be for any length of time, they are licensed vehicles, and I have several licensed vehicles.
But this particular car was in the state of disrepair.
Yes, I had taken the tire off it, seat axle off of it, and was waiting on discount to get the right axle.
But Mr. your testimony that the Nissan Sentra is no longer on the property.
No, ma'am, it hasn't been on that property for, oh my God. Not long after that, I think I got the summons.
I do want to question, you did make a point that you take the vehicles on the property. This is supposed to be a vacant piece of property where if you start fixing vehicles, whether it's not yours, then this is not a residential area. It's actually bringing business into residential.
Well, Ms. Jones, business is when you're receiving something for that service, and that's something that I'm not doing. And there again, that was my granddaughter's vehicle.
I understand that, but here's the other one, you did say that it was not your vehicle. and she
Yeah, it
not
was my granddaughter.
Not on the property.
No, ma'am, you're right.
Ms. Jones, you had mentioned in your presentation of the case that the city was requesting that the shed and car be removed or that the property be brought in compliance. That presumably the city would be amenable to Mr. Holmes building a home on the property or seeking an exception for a mobile home on the property.
He can do that, but what you said, for women, regulations cannot do that. And I did forget to tell you that, the notice that you said was on sign, it was signed, and your sister can actually come up here and our permit check is kind of off copy.
Okay, so that was the first one I received.
And, at that time, she was the person who it was being mailed to, her mailing stuff on the property part. Now it's yours.
Yes. Yes, well, like I said, as far as trusting anything that Gloria gives, I do not.
Would the city be agreeable to giving Mr. Holmes time to apply for an exception and put a mobile home on the property originally planned?
We would give on within 30 days, we would live on time. The thing is, though, you choose not to put them all the phone, you lost the $200. And then if you don't do it in 6 months, you don't have that special exception. So I would hate for you to put money out and
Now,
fall
I've already lost money. Now, that would cover a modular home or mobile home.
It would cover standard design residential home.
Oh, standard design residential home.
It has to fit the characteristics of the neighborhood. A pitched roof, vinyl siding. It cannot be a regular mobile home. And if you like, we can use you the.
Yes.
Or you can look online at the North Central Florida Planning Council website where our land development regulations are. And there's a section that's definition that tells you what this is and what this isn't.
North Central Florida,
But if you like, if your email address, and I would be more than happy to email that to you.
Walter _home 82 yahoo.com.
I'll give you the definition down up.
So is
Mr.
that,
Holmes, I'm inclined, we have two options here. You either have to put home on the property or you have to remove the shed. And so what is it that you're seeking today? Are you seeking more time to have home on the property? Do you plan to
yes,
have?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You don't have a violation about what you're gonna do with the property, what you want to put a home or whatnot. This is all about the shed. The shed can't be there unless the home is already in existence.
So I just got to read the shed.
Yes, sir. That's what this code says. And unfortunately, we have to.
Okay, should I have no place, no.
If I may interject, we have given, Mr. Holmes a, exception to place a mobile home on there, and the city manager waived the fees on it, so we're waiting on him to get that application into us
You waive the fees for the one? I didn't know that.
For the.
for the exception.
For the special exception, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what we gave to you that day.
No, sir, I did not know that.
Okay.
And to interject, Dave, that has to be in by 8 AM tomorrow morning, because the agenda goes out
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So that,
if not, it would be the March meeting, that it would go before.
this Martian, that being said, it can only be fair to the city to get 60 days, because more than likely, we probably can't be that deadline. We have to go back to the city and, you have to go site, we have to have pictures of the home. Do you have a home that you want to buy?
I was looking at one.
Okay,
Yeah,
the home that you are seeking the notice for,
Yes,
you have to show the board this is.
All right.
So, will you have that by any tomorrow morning?
no, ma'am,
Okay,
no, ma'am,
so in fairness, we need to.
no, ma'am, because I have a doctor's appointment when I leave from here this evening at 5 o'clock. And then I have another MRI tomorrow morning at 10, so I just have to stay on night again. So it's, when I said I got put behind the 8 ball, I really got put behind the 8 ball as far as injuries. And my week is filled with going to doctor's appointments. So, but knowing that now, yes, I will get that up there.
So is to be clear, Mr. Young, is the city's position that should Mr. Holmes apply for the special exception to the mobile home, that if he goes through that process, is approved, say there's a mobile home on the property in 3 months, would that resolve the situation for the city?
Yes, ma'am, we would.
Well, we'll get it resolved. It's not, so I'm not doing it for the city, just so I got to do it for myself. Because I don't know how much longer I got even being able to see. So.
And you need help with your special exception, people you're buying mobile home. Should be able to.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Holmes, I'm going to issue an order allowing you 3 months to apply for special exception and have a mobile home on the property. If within 3 months, this does not occur, you're gonna have to remove the shed. Okay, and
Didn't get done.
I'm gonna give you 30 days after that to remove the shed. And if that,
If he waiting the fees 1 year, it's gonna
and
be.
if that's not done, then you're gonna have a fine that will start accruing
Yes, ma'am.
following that of $25 a day.
That, well, you don't need to do that. I'm already, I'm like I said, I thank you for your time, but I'm already working on it.
Okay.
It's just one of those things to where I got to work a little bit faster, but I'm working on it.
One question, but he will need to have a permit for the mobile home and as soon as that special exception is granted,
All right.
because that's what's gonna cause you to be in.
I already, I have my, now, the mobile home doesn't have to be a single lot of double lot.
If the residential design manufacturing home can be a single lot,
Yes,
make sure your lot size accommodates it with your setback.
yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Holmes, will you please tell me the address to zoning order?
681 Northwest Dixie Avenue. Now, with that being said, as far as the mailbox being there, I do that for a reason because, it's something that was already in the system with all my doctors.
I understand.
And like that, I can get all my correspondence because,
That is a good violation that you have in the trust because it was your family home.
yeah,
Anything further?
no, ma'am.
Mr. Holmes or Ms. Jones? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You can have a podium. I apologize, I caught my throat.
Great. Our next case under new business, case number 2020-196, involving property located at 729 Northwest Wilson Street. And I would ask the city to present its case, including what proper notice was provided for the hearing today and the remedy that the city is seeking at this time.
Proper notice was served, there's a little bit of history that I need to inform you of before we go through the process that I was informed of after the case was terminated. Dr. Shaw and his family used to own this property, but it was sold in tax sale, and he recently acquired the property in last year. So Mr. Shaw was unaware that he would have to abide by the current regulations because he had owned the property at one time, and things were put back where they were before he left the property. So that being said, we had received a code violation complaint. The shed had been moved to the property and setbacks per the complaint were not met. Also, at that time, there was building material that was being stocked and stored there. Also, a semi truck was parking there. The LDR prohibited a shed without a structure. Semi trucks are not allowed to be parked in residential areas, and there was not a permit for the shed. Since notices have gone out, Pastor Shaw has been working to obtain a special exception
to build a church on this property. He has come in and he's got the paperwork. He's working with an engineer, correct?
Right.
Mr. George, who is helping him, because this is not a residence, this is a huge church, this is not a residential building. And we have advised Mr. Shaw that we were moving forward with this case so that it could be on record. That he does need to obtain special exceptions, that he does need to build under the current building code, but family, the shed can't be there and the building supplies cannot be there. So permit is issued, and as far as the shed, in just a previous case, that structure is placed on the property. He does have one shed that was on the property and has always been on the property. So it's not in violation, but when we move the new shed on the property, it's like possible. So the city is seeking that Mr. Shaw, Pastor Shaw, obtain the special exception through the process, and if it's approved, then the city would allow him to leave the shed on the property. If it's not approved, then we would ask that it be removed in 30 days along with all the building material. As soon as the special exception is granted, Mr. Shaw is to also bring in his permitting paperwork so that the permitting process in the building permit can be obtained by you.
Pastor Shaw, what do you have to say in response to the city's case?
Just, we wanted just more time to get all that done. We understand, that, it was explained to me, at the office downstairs, plus at the board meeting with the council and the mayor. Mr. David also kind of explained, what we need to do. And we got, let me say, we got the, as you were saying, we have a planner who's drawing up new plans, updated plans for the building. And also, we also have a thing, a contractor to get ready to, put a permit whenever everything get lined up, with the special exception stuff, so we can come into compliance. So, we're working on that now, so I was just saying we just needed more time, to have these folks get all this information in place so that we can get the special exception and right after that, get the permit to be the church.
Pastor Shaw, how much time are you seeking?
Well, I know the planner guy told me he needed 30 days, and so I was thinking if we can get the same as y'all gave the gentleman before 90 days to have everything in place, we can definitely, get it quick, I'm sure, but
Mr. Marshall, Mr. Shaw has already submitted, Pastor Shaw has already submitted his special exception, so we are in receipt of it. He's further along in the process than the previous gentleman was. Also, Mr. Shaw had 2016, was it the year of your plan?
right, 2009
2009.
plans already,
On January 1st of this year, all plans had to be updated to the current building code. So everything he invested in those plans had to go back to square one. So that's why we've been working with Mr. Shaw. He's actually been going through the process as he's supposed to. It's just the setbacks of the changes in the code and the special exception process. When the first time he owned this property, he didn't have one special exception for a church. And that code changed since then. So in the event that the special exception is not passed, we would ask that the shed be removed within 30 days along with the equipment. But if it is, then I would be most agreeable to what Pastor Shaw is requesting.
Yeah, okay, that sounds reasonable, right? Okay.
And what about the status of the
Pastor Shaw took care of that immediately.
Right,
It's not part of it
right.
anymore.
Right,
He was under the impression that that was a city easement and allowable, and once you talked about it and education was transferred, that he solved that problem real quick. In
right.
fact, if you'd like to be my junior code officer, you can come with me anytime.
Thanks for all. Yeah, I went right to it.
Yeah, we brought this case before you because, our previous magistrate, just so you know, our previous magistrate would not hear the case and record it, and it would end up hurting the petitioner and the respondent because it wasn't on the record. They didn't have a record of what happened. So that's why we brought Pastor Shaw in front of you today, so that we could record it and it could be a record. And he has it, we have it, and we know the plan of action.
So I will issue an order stating that if the special exception that you've already applied for is approved,
Yeah.
At that point, you're to apply for a permit, a building permit, and proceed with building your church, and the shed will be permitted at that point. If the special exception is not approved, however, you'll have to remove the shed within 30 days.
Yes.
Anything else, Ms. Jones?
No.
Agreeable.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
And
you.
then,
Thank y'all very much.
before you go, if you would just confirm your address for the order, please.
Address is 308 Southwest Callaway Drive here in Lake City, Florida.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy New Year, ladies.
You too, have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you for coming, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah.
Appears that we've cleared the way.
Karen, just let me know the new pastors. Mandy, I'm not sure who that is, and I'm not sure how to do it. If you are on the line to speak before the magistrate, could you unmute yourself and identify yourself, please?
You may have to unmute on your computer. I'll step out and go see
You make a local number, so, it could be A or B. Caller, we're waiting for our IT person to come back in the room, and we apologize for the delay.
Sorry, I had to eat. I was going to pass out. But she did it right. I don't have any way to unmute them. They have to unmute themselves.
Well, I did ask them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What's the way that they unmute themselves?
It will pop up. It will say something like the host has requested you to unmute. They did raise their hand. Oh, they did it. Hello.
Hey,
Hi, can you identify yourself?
McCook.
Oh, Mrs. McCook? Okay, thank you. She is case number, it's gonna be new business, A 202-0003. Ms. McCook, were you on the line earlier when the magistrate swore everybody in?
No, it's not.
Okay, she's gonna need to swear you in, and then, she'll let you know what the next thing is gonna happen, okay?
Okay.
Good afternoon, Ms. McCook. This is Stephanie Marchman. I'm a special magistrate for the city of Lake City. Would you please identify yourself just in terms of your first name, last name, and your mailing address?
Davita McCook, 227 Northwest Queen Road, Lake City, Florida, 32055.
And Ms. McCook, for purposes of the case that you're here for today, is that case number 2020-96?
Yes.
Involving 362 Northwest Long?
Yes.
786 Northwest Elm.
Okay.
Both structures are on the same.
And then, Ms. McCook, I'm going to have you, wherever you are, hold up your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So we'll call 2020 case number 96 involving 786 Northwest Alma and 362 Northwest Long. I'll ask the city first to present their case in terms of notice and the background with respect to this case and any remedy the city's seeking.
On 6/23, we received a complaint regarding a structure that is open, vacant, and it's on the same parcel as 362 Northwest Long. 768 Northwest Elma is the property in question. That property was, we received a complaint because it had broken windows. People were going in and out of the structure. It was open and accessible. It currently has rotted wood around the house. And then we received another complaint in November, same parcel, that work was being performed on both houses per the caller. And what we had found on 11/30 that new windows and some construction work was being done to the home on Wall Street. We did issue notices that were received, the green cards returned back to the city. As of yesterday, Mrs. McCook and her family have come in and applied for permits. They have agreed to demo the 768 Northwest Alma Place, or Alma Avenue, and they are getting permits for the work being done at Northwest Long. What the city would like is, once you obtain the permit, you have 6 months to complete the procedure. If the structure at 768 Northwest Alma is not torn down in that 6 months period of time, that a fine accrue. And the same being said with, if the final inspections are not done by the 6th month at 362 Northwest Long, that fines accrue of $20 a day, $25 a day, that could become a lien on the property within 6 months of a recorded order, and the city could take possession, you could foreclosure on the property.
Ms. McCook, do you have anything to say with respect to the city's position on this matter?
I'm working on getting the house removed. Well, I'm waiting for the permit to be approved. And I got a phone call saying that my permit for the other house has been approved. I didn't understand what she was saying about taking possession.
When a lien is placed on the property, if the lien is not paid or the violations are not cured, the city can go before and request a foreclosure on the lien. We just like to make you aware of that so that you know what is going on in this process. And the reason why we brought it to the board or to the magistrate is that the order is recorded for your protection, that you know you have 6 months to complete this process once you have that permit.
Okay.
It also helps if people call in and complain and we have record that you were before us and you're working on it and we can let them know.
Okay.
Ms. McCook, is 6 months sufficient time for you to complete the work on the property and demolish the structure that you plan to demolish?
I'd like to take a little bit more time.
How much time?
Sure. 50 in the clear.
Ms. McCook, how much time are you seeking?
Could I have to the end of the year?
What's the city's position on
The thing is, after 6 months, the permit expires, so she would have to reapply. If I did not get to review your permit application, but the permitting for the windows and the structure along, now that was a stop work order, that work has already been done. What else was going to be permitted in that permit?
I should be done within 6 months. I just want it to be in the clear because y'all talking about taking stuff.
Okay, that's not what we're trying to do. By Florida law, you only have 6 months to complete a permit. But you've already put the windows in and they just need to be inspected, correct?
No, I only replaced the windows that were broken.
Exactly.
So
So-
since, but doing the permit now, I'll just go ahead and replace them all. I mean, there's no point in not if I have to have the permit, you know.
What I would suggest, ma'am, is that you get the inspection on the windows that are already there that were part of the stop work order violation. And that will cure this issue. As soon as Mr. Young does the inspection on those, he'll report it in the system that closes the stop work order violation for 362 Northwest Long. And then you would have 6 months after that first inspection. So if you had it done in 2 weeks, then 6 months you'd have to get all the windows in. And as far as the structure on Elma, we realize it takes time and money to take it down. So that's why you would have those 6 months on that structure.
Okay. So you're saying I need to go ahead and get him to come out and look and then continue with the rest.
It's actually a virtual inspection. When you pick up your permit, the tech will give you a letter and you call him and he does a virtual inspection, then he passes it and it's done. So if those windows are in, I would encourage you as soon as you get home or as soon as you can tomorrow, go ahead and.
I couldn't understand you. Say that again for me, please.
Once you get the permit, as soon as you can get back to that property, call Mr. Young and let him look at those windows. It's just a simple process of you video calling him and he looks at the windows.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
I have to grab the paperwork from the store, you know, showing that the windows are Florida certified.
Okay.
And if I don't make it there today, it'll be tomorrow when I get up there with that.
You can also go online and wherever you bought those windows, that information is online. And you just
Oh, okay.
you don't have to print it, you don't have to do anything. You can just call Ann and tell her it's Florida product approval number 555661.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and, Ms. McCook, if you can hear me, I'm going to issue an order giving you 6 months to complete the work and on the windows and demolish the structure on Alma. Following that, if the work's not completed, then fines will begin to accrue at $25 a day. Ms. McCook, in terms of where to send this order or mail it to you, is it 786 Northwest Alma where I should send it?
57 Northwest Queen Road.
You're at Northwest Queen, correct?
Yes.
Okay, your voice is breaking up, so I have the property card. I'll take that and give it to Mrs. Marchman so that you don't have to worry about going to the wrong place.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, do you have any other questions, Ms. McCook?
No, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming, ma'am.
Thank you.
Miss Fran.
Yeah.
If somebody else calls in, we just ask them to unmute themselves.
Yeah, this meeting is not over.
No, ma'am, we still have
about
No, ma'am, there
five,
was nobody up there, I was just.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nobody on there now, but it's recording still, so you still use the
I was just
microphone.
concerned about if you needed a break.
Oh, I'm fine. I ate something real quick.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start back at the beginning of the agenda, old business, case number 2018-473 involving property located at 553 Broadway Avenue. Property owners Gerard and Shanada Richardson. If the city could present its case.
Yes, ma'am. On 12/10/2018, we were notified that a structure fire had occurred. The house was not fully involved. A large portion of the house was still standing. The fire was contained to one single room. However, the notices did go out, I apologize, notices did go out and come back claimed by the Richardson.
I'm sorry, it came back plain.
The green card came back that they had gotten their mail, yeah. Between the first notification, we had communication with the couple. They were going to rebuild the home. Unfortunately, the neighbors, they don't live in that neighborhood. The neighbors had come in between the time of 12/1 and 5/1. The neighbors had come and decided to take wood from the structure, taking walls down, burning down, and the structure caught fire one more time. So at that point, the position was going to move to demolish at that point. After that occurred, we unfortunately did not receive any more contact from the Richardson. And we are asking now, the property was notified this last time when we had canceled our meeting back in November and December. Notices were sent out on those dates. They came back and claimed that the property and City Hall was posted. And then once again, when we cited this notice on December 28th, no, sorry, 12/8, the notice went back out and the card and the mail came back unclaimed. And we put the notice of violation posted on the property and here at City Hall. We have not received any contact to demolish the structure because of the safety issue. And it's fully open and we don't know the structural integrity of the structure anymore. We are asking that if the owners do not demolish the property in 30 days, that the city move forward with abating the structure at our cost and billing the property owners. At that time, if the property owners do not pay that sum within 6 months, the city could go ahead and request a foreclosure once that lien is filed on that property.
Ms. Jones, in terms of the notice of the hearing today sent to the Richardsons, it appears that the address it was sent to was 7718 Northwest, and then I don't have the rest of the address. It appears to be cut off.
US 441. It is the same address that we have been sending it to. I'm sorry, you should have gotten a copy of this, the back of that card as well. It was 7718 Northwest US Highway 41, Lake City, Florida 32055. And I can give this to you as evidence. I apologize, you should have had both sides of that.
The hearing today was posted at the property.
Yes, ma'am, on 12/8/2020, and at City Hall. It was also published in, I forgot to say that to you earlier, that we now are publishing our whole agenda in the newspaper 12 days prior to your meeting.
The property records for this property reflect a different mailing address. I don't see that I have that in this packet.
No, ma'am, it's been the same address since day one of the case. In fact, I also failed to mention to you that a previous order was issued back in June of 2019, requesting that the owners bring the property into compliance. I can,
I do have the tax.
Okay.
records here showing the-
Great. And if you'll notice on that tax record that you have, they have stopped paying their property taxes on that property.
Have the property owners received notice of any of the violations or been involved in this process at all?
Yes, ma'am. In the first phase of this, prior to the house catching fire again, they came in and they were going to rebuild the house. They even obtained a permit to rebuild the house, but then they live probably 20 miles from the house. And during that time, it was cold and their neighbor decided to go ahead and take the wood off the house and burn it for their heat source. After that, we did not want contact with them any longer.
Looking at the order that was issued by Special Magistrate Springfield, June 28th, 2019, given that the respondents have failed to obtain a permit for demolition of the structure, it appears that a daily fine of $25 began accruing the 91st day following this order.
Yes, ma'am, we would request that you allow us to place a lien on that property with that previous order.
And then the order also authorizes the city to proceed with demolition of the structure and debris removal on the property.
Correct.
Okay. So you don't need another order with respect to that.
We would like it to have another order included in this particular order, because of, we just would like the order to be current with what we're ordering. And also, if Mr. Young indicated that if these people chose to come in and become compliant, that you could waive the lien if they choose to demolish the house and follow the procedure. That is why we were requesting a second order, sorry.
Okay. And just for the record, Ms. Jones, are we aware of whether there's anybody residing at the property?
Oh, no, ma'am. This photo will show you that all that's left is just the support members of the wall. There could be someone that stays in there at night, but at this time, there's no evidence of anybody going in there. I also not gotten any calls from the police department. Letting me know that something like that.
Ms. Jones, what was the last time you re-inspected the property?
I was on the property outside. And actually, this photo was from when
And just for the record, what did you observe?
there was no improvement. Actually, what it looked like also ceiling falling in the tile, and then the floor that I believe is the one that's upstairs. It's a closer picture of something that we do. And here's another picture showing how old the house is, now that all the wood is.
Okay, I'm going to, I'm going to issue an order, and we'll relay back to the prior order, with respect to the fine, authorizing the city to go ahead and record the fine as a lien, dating back to the initial date that the fine started to run, 91 days following the June 28th, 2019 order, as well as authorize the city to proceed with demolition, as stated in the June 28th, 2019 order, with the cost of such demolition to be reported as a lien, which may be foreclosed upon by the city. Thank you. Okay, next case is 2016-497, involving property located at 331 Northwest Gwen Lake Ave. Property owners Julie Adams and John Pruitt.
This case has also been before the previous magistrate. First initial inspection was back in 2016. The notices for planning during the green card were sent back to us. Miss Adams is currently,
physically incapacitated. She resides at a nursing home along with her son. And they have been in contact with me throughout the years. Because of the status of them both being in that home, they don't have money to pay for repairs, to pay their taxes, and the state basically takes all their money to pay for their care. So Mrs. Adams has told me, via telephone, that she couldn't do what we were asking because of her situation. And the previous magistrate did give the order that, within 30 days, vacate and that it be demolished at their cost. She also indicated that, they paid $13.54 for mailing costs. Unfortunately, the property has also caught fire since the previous notice, previous order, and profit. All that remains now is the cinder block on the exterior and portions of the roof. This house is actually right across from the first case that we heard earlier today. So, the same person who complains about that house continually calls about this one. But the city is seeking to go ahead and request that we demolish and raise the property and bill the owners in the form of a lien. This property does currently, within the last 2 weeks, the property card for the taxes does now indicate that a tax deed is available. It has not been purchased yet, but the city cannot wait for the new owner to purchase it because we don't know if it will occur. So the city is requesting that we take the house down, build the owner and let it come into the property and request or create that lien within 6 months of unpaid and then seek foreclosure within that time frame.
Have you spoken with Ms. Adams about the city's position?
She actually now is to the point where she cannot physically speak. Her caregiver, who is her power of attorney, has advised me to go ahead and move forward with what the city needs to do so that it's no longer a liability on the staff.
Ms. Jones, do you know who you spoke with?
I believe her, not off the top of my head, she is at the Bay Point Nursing Center, and the caregiver is the patient coordinator there who has the power of attorney. I don't have her name right now.
And what about John Pruitt?
He is in the same nursing home. But he does, he received the notice, but we don't receive any contact from his caregivers. The city has also placarded the property, letting people know that it cannot be occupied due to the dangerous condition of the property. So we have abided by International Property Maintenance Code. We just need the permission from the magistrate to go ahead and move forward with demolishing the structure and doing a safety hazard to that area.
you aware of anybody inhabiting property in 2016?
The property is closer to the US 90 interchange, and there have been reports of homeless people living there. And in fact, the last time it caught fire, a homeless person was trying to get warm, and they ended up catching the structure on fire.
When was that there?
That was in January of 2018.
Are you aware of whether he is residing or inhabiting that property presently?
Legally, no one is allowed to be there due to our notice, but I have not seen anyone, and I haven't had any reports of the last fire. Water and sewer are not on or available at that property at this time.
So in 2018, January 9, Special Magistrate Springfield authorized the city to demolish the structure should the respondents not comply with paragraph 1. Also ordered cost in the amount of $13.54. I'll issue an order confirming that the city may proceed with demolition in accordance with this order, and recorded all costs on the property and paid for later that need not be paid, as well as the $13.54. Is there anything else with respect to this?
No, ma'am, not for that.
We will move on to case number 19168 involving property located at 988 Northwest Aston Norris Drive, with the property owner Gloria Jones.
The case before you was visited by you in March of 2020. We revisited the property in 10/16 of 2020. And we actually visited the property several times because the order states that within 3 months, the respondent shall obtain a permit to repair or demolish. And within the last 9 months of the order,
we had to place several stop work orders there because a family member would go and try to do the work without permitting. The first inspection on this particular property was 6/5/19 prior to your order. And the revision is on 2/5/10/16. All of the notices have been claimed by the respondent. And they are aware that they have to obtain permits. This is another property that, the taxes are not being paid on. Mr. Young actually visited the property about 6 weeks ago. He'd never been on the property. And when he visited the property, he had realized that this is a, two trailers put together and it's not a double line. So with the previous order and with the non-compliance that has occurred, we are requesting that the city demolish this property within 60 days and build the owner, place a lien upon the property, and foreclose if need be at that time. There are no previous liens on the property. It was just ordered that they obtain the permit. This house also is currently uninhabitable. There's a large hole in the roof and there is, per the owner, a mold-like substance growing within the house.
Notice of this hearing was sent to
Yes, that's 633 Mathis Road, Carroll, Georgia, 39827. I frequently get calls from Mrs. Jones. She will call and say she's coming to get a permit, and usually that same week we catch someone doing unpermitted work. So we're using city time, the tax dollars, to continually go out there to issue those stop work orders when they are not complying with International Property Maintenance Code or safety code or the building code that are adopted by the city.
I don't have a record of the certified mail. I do have one back from.
It is down on my desk. I will make you a copy of it. I believe it came in the day after we created it. Ms. Jones did call me and tell me she was coming today, but I don't know why she is not here. And also, I'm sorry, Ms. Lucas. Okay. I'm Ms. Jones, sorry.
But there is a mistake
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
property.
Ms. Lucas is who called me. Also, I did also host the property and host City Hall, and those photos are documented. Wow. Our process is that as soon as we mail the letter out, we go post the property so that the complainant understands that we're working on it. We try to give as much notice to the respondent as physically possible.
And Ms. Jones, Ms. Lucas called you and said she planned to be here today?
Yes. She had actually came in, she was here for the last 2 meetings and got canceled. So I'm surprised that she is not here.
you aware whether anybody is having structures?
No, the person that lives next to it on the home, and she monitors this property. And every time someone goes to that property, she calls the police, so no one is there.
Ms. Jones, it appears from the photograph, that the property has been approved the last hearing. It appears that the yard is being done, there's been repair work done on the roof. I understand it's not permitted. Would you agree with that?
Yes, the problem being is the work is not being done code, and it's causing a public nuisance.
How is it not compliant with code?
The windows are not windows that meet Florida product approval code. And the roofing material that they put on was not, they took it off of a shed that was on the property and placed it, and Mr. Young was not inspected, the president was not inspected. Windows and
They haven't pulled, the property owners haven't pulled any permits for any of this work.
correct, and part of the problem with this particular case, Ms. Jones did not leave a will, and this property has never been probated. And there are 6 kids that are fighting over this property. And, she died quite a long time ago. I want to say like 15 years that she was passed. A Florida licensed contractor would have to also pull these permits because one, no longer is at the property, 2, the owner is not alive, and 3, the homeowner's exemption only applies if you live inside of that property.
Owners been notified that the city was going to keep demolition of the property.
Yeah.
Where is that in the record?
That was. No, I apologize, that was the previous case. This one, my apologies, this one, we need them to obtain the permits and follow the process at their cost because they did not comply originally. And the property is currently under a stop work order for that reason. This property can be rehab. It's not torn apart like the other property. And I apologize, I got it confused. This one, they could potentially rebuild it, and that's what I apologize, we're not thinking.
So we're not speaking of demolition here.
Let me make sure.
Okay.
So I apologize. In the stop work order that should have been attached, the red stop work order that was sent out on 10/16/20. It indicated the magistrate wanted to attach no permit for full
work being required, work being done requires contractors to do work. And then we are asking demolish and remove structure or repair in accordance with the current adopted, Florida code. All hazards have to be eliminated. What I think we should do with this one is revisit this in 3 months. I do also understand that COVID and stuff is an issue for a lot of people. And getting Florida contractor to come and work in any conditions is hard. If we need to give this person, these owners a little bit more time, we have to find the city. And the next hearing, we could come back and order the city or ask the city to destroy the property.
So I am going to, based on what you just said, Mr. I'm going to give them another 90 days to get permits for the work. And I am going to tell them that if they fail to do so, they should appear before with the hearing following, the first hearing following the 90 days, and to show cause as to why the city should be authorized to demolish the property. We will move to our next case under old business, which is case number 19115, located at 640 Northwest Florida Avenue, property owner Addie Lee Murphy. This particular case, this gentleman, Addie Lee Murphy died 30 years ago. Her granddaughter passed away last year, and now her great grandson is the heir apparent to the property. He called me this morning and he was not aware of the situation. He has had a family emergency and he was aware of the situation a week ago. Today he had a family emergency and he plans to attend and he wanted to speak to you. And I don't feel that it would be very responsible for me to move forward with this without him being able to speak here. So I would like to table this to the next hearing. We will table case number 19115 until the next hearing.
case, it should be 2020-24.
Right. Okay, the last case under new business is case number 2020-104. It's located at 773 Northwest Dixie Avenue. The owners are 5T Wealth Partners LP.
This case, code complaint came in on 6/23. Upon visiting property, the property was open and accessible, windows were broken, the front door was removed from the hinges. The siding was burned in some areas. Someone had, tried to burn the trash pile and caught the siding fire. It's open accessible, debris is scattered everywhere, and the property is overgrown. The city was able to decide for several international property maintenance code, including the request for demo demolition due to the condition of the structure within. The owners, 5T Wealth Partners LP, did accept their free cards on both notices and the notice to appear. The mail card came in a couple of days ago, the actual green card. It was received and delivered in signed on December 9th, 2020. I guess with Christmas holidays, delayed getting back to us. But we do have it now in our possession, but I did print off all the USPS tracking of it to show it was delivered in signed form. The photos of the structure show how deteriorated it has become and the trash around it. This particular structure is very close to 441 and Washington Street. Several churches are around it. In fact, it's across the street from the Coach property that we're also seeking to demolish. The city would like that the owners be given 3 months to demolish the property at their cost. If they choose not to do so, or demolish or improve the structure in 90 days. If they choose not to do so, the city would ask that we bring this back before you and request for the city to demolish it. Or if you so choose to place a new order that the city can go ahead and demolish it if it's not done by the owner in 90 days. And we would then move forward with billing the owner and creating a lien and potential foreclosing at that point. There's never been any improvement, any contact. This 5T Wealth Partner LP is a company that buys tax liens and resells property.
Have you had any contact with the owner?
I have reached out, I did find a phone number for 5T, but no one called me back.
The first notice of violation issued by 23rd, 20.
It should have been June 23rd, 20. Correct.
Well, this your initial inspection is June 23rd, 2020, but then the due date for the correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Was this notice delivered to the property owner?
Yes, I didn't.
And that was by what method?
Certified. This property has also been posted as well since the beginning of the case relation. As well as I was on this property on 1/4/2021. No improvement, further debris, further deterioration on the property. There was no one there that day. This part, this portion of town where the Cook property is, and it's a large lot, it's a city block lot that the Cook's property sits on, and this property is across the street from it. And what is happening is they're having COVID block parties, and these two units, these two properties are the center of where people are gathering. The police have been out there and they have cleared people off of whole property. So that's one of the reasons why we are requesting to demolish the structure. In terms of the COVID block parties and then that would be, these parties would be owners. No, they are not. For some reason, people from big cities are coming to Lake City on any given night. And hundreds to 200 people are gathering on these lots. The secondary violation, your reinspection on it. Yes, that is the one that the UPS that I indicated earlier, because the green card was coming back, and I just got that green card this week. And then the notice of hearing for today, January 14th, 2021, that was sent via. Correct. Yes. And we have evidence that was received. That was part of the notice of violation, and that notice of here was the same envelope of this USPS. I apologize. I was ready to make a copy of it. So, and Ms. Jones, future reference, I think with respect to notice of hearing, I would like to see in terms of, the city is going to be seeking demolition of property. I'd like to see that party. Yes, ma'am, I agree. Rather than just, mine. Yes, ma'am. I think that's important. Yes, ma'am. This is a new request within the last 32 weeks from the city manager that we seek demolition. Okay. With that said, to be sure that the owner is on notice that the city is seeking demolition, I would issue an order requiring the owners to repair or demolish the property within 90 days. Their failure to do so, I'll have them come back for me. I think that's what I think. And then, with respect to that is hearing the city wants to see demolition at that time. You can by the owners. In the past, we usually send out the form of
especially if they had an order already, they would send a copy of the order and send this other saying, we are going to go ahead and take this action. And that's how I chose to do it. So in the future, the first chance, if it's not, a safety issue, they have to be demolished. Second time around, you see, city, do stuff. Any more business? That's it. There's a lot of cases, but I know we haven't met in a while, Jason, and they're not normal long. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Anything you want me to?
Yes, please. That'd be great.